Hey, welcome to the demo for the Christmas Fussy Star Pillow. We are going to work through every step of this pillow. There is a free download right below this video if you want to join us in making it. This demo is going to include making the block for this pillow. It will include how to baste it, how to make your backing, how to put the whole pillow together, and then eventually how to bind it. This is a multi-part demo, so I'm going to have this broken up into different videos for you to watch. I will be giving you all the sizes for everything on this video, but if you prefer to look at a PDF, there's a free download for it right below this video. All right, so here is what you are going to need for this pillow top. That's the part we're discussing in this video, is just the top. So you're going to need background pieces. You're going to need 8.5-inch squares. For fabric A, you're going to need 1 8.5-inch square. And for fabric B, you're going to need 8 6.5-inch squares. If you prefer to see this in a PDF download, there's a link right below this video that you can click and see it all in print. All right, so let me put this aside and we're going to learn how to fussy cut together. All right, so I'm going to be using this fabric right here. This is from my Merry Making fabric collection, and I want to frame up this Santa right here. So I'm using my 12.5-inch ruler, and I've gone ahead and marked where the 8.5-inch corner is with washi tape. Now, I don't actually have it on the direct line. The purpose of this washi tape is just to make it easier for my eyes to see and grab that 8.5. So anytime I'm changing up the size of the squares that I'm cutting, I just move the washi tape to create this corner. I'm going to be using this corner and this corner of the ruler so that I can cut an 8.5-inch fussy cut of our Santa here. I'm going to get the fabric as straight as I can using this selvage side. And I'm lining up that selvage with one of the vertical lines on my cutting mat. And this is, again, just so I can keep Santa straight. Then I'm going to grab my ruler. Now, I'm just guessing where the center of Santa is, but I know what the center of my 8.5-inch square is, and that's 4.25. So I'm just going to find the 4.25 corner right there, and I'm going to eyeball it on top of Santa and just try to get him centered. If he's a little off, I'm not going to be that worried about it. All right, but there he is. I think I've got him centered in this 8.5-inch square. I'm guessing again. Put my hands on the ruler, and I'm just going to cut here, and I'm going to cut here. All right, and then I know that this corner right here is going to be where the corner of my square is. So now I'm going to flip this upside down, and on this corner of the ruler where I've got it marked, that's where I'm going to put right there flush with my fabric. So I'm going to spend a second or two getting that lined up, pretty flush. Like I want it to be spot on. All right, and then I'm going to cut this side, and I'm going to cut this side. All right, and that is how you fussy cut. Obviously, if you have fussy cut rulers that are exactly the size you need them to be, those are really, really helpful, and you don't have to use this washi tape. You just put your square in it, and it makes it easier. But I think I've got like 2 or 3 different size fussy cuts, but I don't have the 8.5, which is what we needed for this. All right, moving on. We're gonna grab our B squares, and we're gonna put these other squares aside. On the back of all the B squares, I'm gonna line up a ruler corner to corner, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line. If you have a setup on your sewing machine where you don't have to do this, if you're using like diagonal seam tape, or if you have one of those lasers for your sewing machine, you can skip this step. But if you don't, this is the manual way to do it. We're going to do that to all the fabric B squares. So now we're going to take one of our background squares, and we're going to take one of our fabric B squares, and we're going to put it right here in this corner. And the two pieces of fabric I want to get as flush as possible, on these two edges. The more accurate you have it, the better your snowball comes out. All right. Then we are going to sew directly on this drum line. If you're chain piecing, you can go ahead and do that for all the background squares and all the fabric piece squares. So we're at our pressing station, and now we're just going to set this seam, okay? Just like that. It doesn't have to be a lot of time spent, and then we're going to move back to the cutting station. All right, and now we're going to take our ruler, and we're going to line up the 1/4 inch line of our ruler right on top of that line that we stitched and drew on. And we've got it lined up so that we can cut this corner off. So make sure you don't do it, the opposite way. We're going to line this up and cut this corner off. This can go in your scrap bin or whatever you do with scraps. Back to the pressing mat. All right, we're going to press this seam open. So I'm just going to give this just a very, very gentle tug. Slip my finger into the seam and press. Now you don't want to be gliding your iron over your patchwork. You want to lift it up and down, pressing so that you don't warp your patchwork. And anything with a triangle, particularly snowballs, is really easy to warp. Flip it over and press again. If you're not 100% accurate, like that right there, don't fret, because these are so difficult to make perfect. This is going to get hidden inside my seam allowance, so I'm not going to stress too much. All right, now we need to go and sew the other side on. And just in case you couldn't see it from that other angle, that's what I'm talking about, is a tiny inconsistency, a tiny flaw in my patchwork. It happens to all of us. It's really hard to make snowballs perfect. I don't even think I've ever made one perfect. They're all just little tiny errors like that. The important thing is that we get it as close as we can get it. We're going to take another one of those fabric B squares, right sides down, and we're going to do the same thing we did over here on this corner. And then we're going to sew right here on this drum line. All right, so super fast, just like this, my seam is set. All right, so we're going to turn this just like this, and we're repeating the same process where we line up a 1/4 inch line of our ruler with our stitched line, and we cut that corner away. And that is going to create, our 1/4 inch seam allowance. So back to the pressing mat. All right, and just like before, I'm going to put this fabric right side down, and I'm going to slip my finger into that seam allowance and press it open. All right, and then I'm going to right side up. That one came out about near perfect. Look at that. All right, I'm using pressing spray. This is a starch alternative spray, and it's going to help you get your fabric crisp, and it just helps sewing a lot better. I actually had pressed and sprayed all of my fabrics before I ever cut them. This helps with accuracy when you're cutting and accuracy when you're piecing. So I'm going to give this a little spritz and press. And again, we're not gliding or ironing. We are pressing. And this is a misting bottle. There are links to these products right below this video. This misting bottle just kind of makes the pressing spray spread out a little bit more evenly and not get clumpy the way some pressing sprays can do. I just really like this bottle because I feel like it spreads the spray out a little bit more. And it gives just a little bit of spray versus, a lot. All right, here is our snowball unit. This should measure 8.5 inches right now. you're going to make 4 of these exactly the same. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so now we have all 4 of these units completed. And we're going to lay out our block. So Santa goes in the middle, and our star points are going to go around the block. And then our remaining background squares are going to go in those corners. We're going to make our giant pillows. These are going to be so cute. All right, so this is the one that I'm going to go and sew together right now. But before I do, I did want to mention, if you're working with my Merry Making fabric collection and you're using those stripes and you want them all going in the same direction on those snowball units like this, so both triangles are going, you know, vertical stripes. If you're trying to do that, when you sew these on, you're going to sew it on this way. So is the horizontal. So if you want vertical stripes, when you sew these on, make sure your stripes are running, you know, horizontal. If you want horizontal stripes on your points, make sure your block is running vertical when you sew it on, okay? So just a little tip, just in case you're using these same fabric collections I'm using. This again is my Merry Making fabric collection, and I have a link for it right below this video. Okay, so next step for this part of this video series is going to be to sew each row and then sew our rows together. So first, before we do that, we're gonna go and sew this row together, sew this row together, sew this row together. I'm gonna go and do that, and then I'll meet you back at the pressing mat. All right, so I am all sewn here, and I'm gonna start from the top. So let me put these to the side, and I'm gonna grab my top row. And we're pressing our top and our bottom rows toward the background squares, and our middle row is going to be pressed toward the center square. This is gonna alternate our seams so that we can get nice points by nesting. All right, so both of these seams are going this way. So I'm just pushing it out and then pressing. And again, I'm not gliding, I'm pressing. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. All right, and I'm gonna put this one out of the way. And the next is my center row, and we're pressing this one, you know, toward the center. So I'm gonna make sure my seam is going that way. And I find pressing seams so much more, I get them way more accurate when I use my hand first and then my iron. I don't like to use the iron to push the seam out because I feel like it makes all kinds of errors. So see, I'm pushing this out with my hand, and then I'm using the iron. And this will decrease any kind of lips that you if you tend to get those in your pressing. This should reduce those and just help everything come out the right size. All right, that's the middle row done. And now that last row, and again, we're pressing our seams out this way. All right, so now we've got our bottom row. We're going to take that middle row. You want to make sure that your star points are all going in the right direction before you move on to this step, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've had one of these, you know, turn the wrong way. All right, and we're going to take middle row and we're going to put it just like that on top of the bottom row. And then we're going to take these two seams and we're going to, using our forefinger and our thumb, we're going to just kind of push those up against each other. You'll feel them lock into place. You'll feel them just fit real snug right into place, and it looks just like that. If they don't fill into their place, just keep trying and you'll get it eventually. Then you're going to take a pin and you're going to slip it right into that stitch line, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing for this seam. And because these pieces are so big, I'm even going to put one right here. I'm also going to put my two ends together over here and put a pin there. I'm going to put a pin here. I'm going to repeat that over here on this end of the pillow. Pin these two ends, and then one more right here. You can pin as little or as more as you like. This is just, you know, my usual. Now we're going to go and sew right across here. All right, so now we are going to set this seam. So just like this, just like we've been doing this whole demo, set your seam. Make sure there's no tension here and everything will just press out a little nicer. Then we're going to right side down and we're pressing this seam open. So slip my finger into the seam and press. And remember, you're not ironing, you're pressing. So don't glide here. All right, flip it over. I'm going to put a little starch on this seam and press again. All right, just like before, we're taking that top row now and we're going to flip it right side facing each other, grab our pins, and pin this up again. All right, now we talked a little bit about inconsistencies in those snowballs, but I want to show you what that looks like because we talk about mistakes a lot, but sometimes we just don't show it. So this snowball was pretty decent, all right, but it was still off a little bit, and you can see that right there where you can see my fabric A peeking through, and it is because my snowball unit was just a smidgen short. We're talking smidgen here, okay? This isn't going to matter so much. So if you have anything that is less than 1/4 inch off, it's going to be okay. Now, if it's really close to 1/4 inch off, you are going to have some issues with sewing your pieces together and everything coming out the right size. So I don't want to tell you, you know, just to go with it. But if it's this much off, go with it. Okay, so this kind of error is going to, this is what I call fudging, and this is going to get caught in my seam allowance, and you, the person who looks at my pillow, is never going to see it. All right, so this is just kind of like a little secret mess up. But if it's 1/4 inch or really close to it, then you've got an issue where you might want to remake your snowball unit. Or you could also use wider seam allowance if you want to. At this point on this top, that probably would be acceptable. Definitely not acceptable on all quilts, but on this one, it would be okay to use, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch seam, if just so you don't have to remake this. But ideally, you would remake this. All right, now we're gonna go sew right across here. All right, here we are again, all sewn. Let's set that seam. Put our pillow right side down, and we're pressing this seam open. And this, pressing the seams open like this, will reduce bulk and then make it easier for your accuracy. Again, it's going to help with your quilting if you're going to be quilting this. Just makes everything better. Makes everything flatter. And if you don't like flat, that's okay, but I just really love flat blocks. So these are my methods to get it. We're going to spray this seam with some pressing spray, and we're pressing again. Okay, and voila, one Christmas star block. So yay. All right, so this is concluding this Christmas star demo for the pillow top. Again, if you would like to have the PDF of this pattern, you can download that. There's a link right below this video. There's also links for all the fabrics and supplies that I used. Come back later this week and I'm going to finish this pillow top with you. Please check out Quilt Class. This is where all of my in-depth classes are happening, and I would love for you to join me there.